Guess that's pepperoni. Might get hit by the lens a bit. Okay. Issue mirror is almost activated on level. What's the mirror? $46 cards. Yeah, so one of those. I think I made a mistake getting a fetch because I actually want to crack the relic now and I'm gonna need a graveyard card in my graveyard for Inverter. Because I want to hit my 4th land and we need one card in my graveyard to play Inverter. I can fetch a tap land, I cannot fetch, play Oracle next turn. Oracle is gonna be weak versus Captain of EOS. I think I'm gonna tap. Okay, good. How confident are you that Archimedes Charm is a better build? I'm not confident, chat. I play decks on stream to try them out with you to acquire some information about them. So this is the first time I'm playing this build. I just cracked it playing to Jason for Inverter on 5. Try it the other way around, not to be weak against... Like, I think I should have just played the Watery Grave, probably, and cracked the Relic, but there's no reason to expose myself to... Like, because my opponent can't win. I'm gonna crack now. Don't want to expose myself to the card whose name I can't remember. What's the name of the card, chat? Yeah, that's awkward here. No, it's not Ranger Captain. Skyclave Apparition is what I mean. Protection from black, but I can still block. Incredible. I've tested the deck a bit too. I tried playing with Talisman of Dominance to speed up the deck and it felt pretty good. Yeah, I mean it's like kind of a different approach, but it is an approach, yes. I guess I still died to Company into both Heliod and Spike Feeder, right? Because it does put infinite amount of counters on both creatures and I can only block one creature. The Heliod deck is kinda broken. Yeah, Talisman with 1 mana plays is good stuff, that's too. Oi oi oi, I can cast my Jace, oi oi. Oi 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 oi. I don't think we cyborg much here. Remain on the draw, a bit slow. Might 3 mages. I got like... Remain's still fine against Ranger Captains. Like, they bought in a lot of wells, which is a problem because their deck is blue-black and has blue-black interactions, obviously, so... This can be weak against Ranger Captain after the combo anyway, so it might be like kind of a dead weight. I don't think I'm a fan of Tassiger because they went via comboing off. Yeah, they do have Sprawl as well, but I don't like Gas because Gas doesn't hit their combo pieces that actually kill me, so I'm gonna cut 1 Jace for 1 Frostseas to have more Vel weakness. And I'm not sure about the Genie Explosive as... Sure, I guess I'll keep. If I decide to keep tuning this deck, I've been really impressed with this spell where my first instinct is usually to play Dispute. Okay, I'll try to keep that in mind, might be valid. Although... I think it's a bit... Oh, obviously Oracle. Well, the spell's main problem is that it's weak against Teferi, but the spell's a card that I would actually could bring against Heliod first board. Big thing that the spell misses the threat out of Blue-Red Prowess. Yeah, I mean not big on disputes here either, that much. Kinda painful to cast those pushes. Low point not been activating, XD. I think dispute is good versus Blue-Red Prowess. Well, it's better than this spell, but it's not. It depends, I often bought it in of some decks, but always super heavy desirable, I don't think so. Looking for Inverter. Like, it depends on your deck. If your deck is playing, you know, Path to Excel, it's kind of a bad combo. If your deck is playing Fatal Push, then it's more desirable because NTT is unkillable by your removals, or if you're playing both as your removal. So it's like, you know, depends on... In Blue specifically, I think Dispute is pretty terrible against Prowess because I want to draw 2 or I want to counter this. I'll draw 2. Subordinate question mark? What is that you're asking here? This is not clear to me. Taking a lot of damage from the mana basis game. Right, I guess we need to counter this one. Possible they're holding a company. 9 life, 6 life, versus a 2 drop, versus a 4 life, it's a difference. We shouldn't have cast this spell at all, but I guess it was worthwhile. Being stab is less valuable than spell pierce heal. I mean, stab and nail in this deck is pretty obviously terrible. I guess if that's what you were asking about. Let's just keep the push. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I guess the same clock. Conclave Mentor sometimes feels like a scam. In what way? And that is too strong or too weak? When they pick roll, they don't know what to do. They would like to enchant the forest first, but they can't. Need to cycle the canopy first. Very puzzling. Our graveyard has 6 cards too, so even if we invert, not too great. What would be good to draw would be a Jace. This game watch will be better, for example. I mean, it's for the combos. It's not. It's for the combos in the deck. Nice. Okay, so well, let's do it now. Not worth to play Damnation for those matchups. You can mainly concern about the combo, and Damnation doesn't help you with the combo. But yes, this game I'm dying to the beatdowns. I had one Damnation earlier, it was fine. Also, but it's also a 4 mana card in a like world of 4 mana cards already. See, very rude. Do you have any outs? I don't think we did. But to have too many Thoughtseize against their deck, I guess. So I'm gonna back to not the sideboard deck. Like, I tried Spreading Seas on the play lately, last time, and honestly it wasn't terrible. Maybe I'm gonna cut the Thoughtseizes. Like, I like Spreading Seas on the play because they're gonna enchant and then we counter it. Explosives bad, I know, is it good? You can only set it to 2 chats, so the deck is kind of 3-drop based, right? You can even stop Arboreal for the Underground Seas, actually. What's the relics for? So that you have a small graveyard when you combo. You move to 5. It's not good in sideboard anymore. I think it might have never been. Obviously I drew my Swamp, Freelance, Charm, and I'm gonna be unable to cast my Charm turn 3. But so I never pulled out relics. You can't really, yeah. They're part of the combo. You draw the Isle. So I guess we're gonna take a 3rd blue. The Watery Grey Spain is so big. Oh, I shifted Urba plus Boil. Imagine Urbor, but only for your opponent, and only for islands, and then Boil and Choke. And like it self taps for colorless. Yeah. I mean, we want to play the Chase, even if it can get consumed by another apparition, because if we push and play Inverter, a Ranger Captain is gonna kill me. I only have 1 card in my graveyard. Push into Chase beats Ranger Captain but not Skycliff. I mean, I think we still likely beat it. Even if there's we don't lose to an apparition here. I played a league yesterday with this build, but with instead of opts. Never ever wanted cantrip to have instant speed, and Exiling of Serum was nice. They never ever wanted to cantrip at instant with this in your deck. Okay, we won. Our anime Jace's leg smaller than his torso. No, it's the, you know what, perspective. Now his feet are not out of the yard. You can see his feet. He's standing on like something bad. Standing on like a Bolas's citadel, I guess, structure. Why milling yourself last turn with Jace? Question mark. So that if my opponent places Cackle Evaporation to exile my Jace, I had a chance to mill over a Jace or Thassa's Oracle, so that I can, even if my Jace gets exiled, I can play the Inverter if I have flipped an Oracle in those two cards. But yeah, like the worst thing about this deck is that the remain is a pain in post-board games, because what did I say? No, I didn't mean to say that it's a pain in post-board games. Post-inverting, it's like not great at protecting because you sometimes, have very few cards in your deck, so you can't counter draw because you're gonna die. Alright, 1-0 chat. I choose to mulligan. I choose to keep. Maybe could have kept the second fetch, I guess. Probably would be better. Seems like some kind of a burn deck. Sunday Canyon, no companion. Suspend Rift Bolt. No, play Goblin Guide. It might be a bit slow versus that. There remains. Like this suggests like a low land hand, but maybe just be 2 Sunday Canyons and again I play an Eidolon next turn I can win. Play versus free look at decks in a row yesterday, so that's something that you're proud of. Amen there. Yes, Wielder of Mysteries on top. Okay, chat, with that. Panic over failed pushes. Not in my hand, which I find problematic. I bet you wish that remain was Mana Leak now. I think it would not alter the result of this game. You push a Swift Spiral Guide, depends on situation, and mostly Goblin Guide. Think about the Radiant Drake right in time to catch me getting absolutely destroyed by Burn. Also, I said that when I was giving my opening hand, I said that I could probably do 2 fetches, but it was better to keep this because I could have played tapped on turn 1. I kind of didn't think that through. Don't like Engine Explodes versus Burn much. Probably gonna cut 2 charms. Gonna bank on finding this in time. Cut Relic. Well, Relic is a combo piece. Like without Relic, I'm not gonna kill you quickly enough, then it's gonna be bad. The gift of you dabbing in front of Savage warms my heart every time. I was about to say that you can see this gift more often if you subscribe to my channel, but that's actually not true. Because doesn't show up upon subscription. I guess I'll keep it. But Tassigur actually seems pretty excellent against Burn. Maybe Tassigur or is just excellent against Prowess. You maybe should have 2 in the sideboard and then trim 2 relics for that, because in that matchup that seems like a more efficient way to clear the graveyard and you have like less time to fuck around with your mana. Thank you, Flons, for your subscription. No creature, come on. That's your kind of clean versus entirety, I agree. Well, I'm just kind of a cheater for not playing a creature here. Answer what case are we playable if it costs 5 instead of 4? Probably guessing no. I mean, assuming with Mox or without Mox Opal. Come on, upon play right alone. What are you doing? I wonder if Thing in the Ice could be a cyber plan. A Relic is a creature, just say Planeswalker. Thing in the Ice with discard spells though. You have a Thing with 1 counter left. You cast Inquisition, trigger Thing in the Ice, bounce your opponent's creatures. Look at their hand and take their creature. Incredible. Bench press? Cool crack check. Always cool crack. Come on, like, you ever just not have a skull crack? But they cast skull crack instead of the Boroshan, so we're still like slightly a win. Thasigur looks good here. Oh, they threw a land too. And this Mesa, Lightning Helix. Ooh. They black Oko. I guess it's like the precursor of Oko anyway. Trend is still those cards, so we can just play Jace. Did I not play Landastel? Also, like, cringe at the no Lurus strata games again. Like, this would be a perfect time to grab a Lurus, but no, Lurus, no, Lurus too bad. Rolling Vortex, really, they brought that in. Instead of Searing Blade, I guess, maybe do that. There's a skip playing a land for no reason. They beat you game 1 because they didn't reveal Lurus though. I mean... I would have anyways. Might try Thing in the Ice with Cyborg Forces, that sounds somewhat cringe, if you ask me. It certainly make me like keep my 7 in the dark, which like, I probably would have moved against upon seeing Lurus on the draw. But also not, because if I've seen Lurus, I would have thought it's not Burn, because Burn doesn't play Lurus. I'll be like, oh, that's not Burn. We can get away against like some of the slower Lurus decks with that keep, right? I guess they can Helix now and they can go to 9. That's kinda bad for me. I forgot to cast my discard spell, but I also didn't want to. Why? Because I forgot. Simple. I guess... because Relic is so slow here. Why did you choose that order, Kaneki? Order of what? Of casting my spells? Gas into Archmage Shard? Didn't really matter. Why are you running Thasigur? It's literally Angler with 1 less power. Well, 1 mana cheaper and with an ability. It might be okay if they have Vortex and it's quite poor. I mean, I want to combo fast too, right? And I'm on a draw, so like it's this... I don't think Explodes on the draw is anything. This is Burn. 1 mana and the ability literally never matter. Strictly worse than Angler. Chat. Have you ever had a Gurmag Angler in hands, 1 swamp in play, and 5 cards in your graveyard, ready to be delved? Also, chat, have you ever witnessed Thasigur drawing an extra card with its ability? I mean, you cast it for X-axis in the last game. Yes, exactly. Good point. Let's say, okay, hands. How much bananas can Angler even hold? Does it even have hands? No. We push. Not sure what's like sequencing spells here is kinda rough. Reason Grixis Death Shadow uses Angler because it operates on low mana. But the reason also is that they use that card to actually clock players. Block opponents, which I mostly want to block, so I want the cheaper one, and I might want the card advantage actually. And before my opponent plays a surprise late up the stage in a burn deck. I guess They can play the... Yeah, they can play the skewer, so I can get punished by the skewer slightly. Ooh, one lander opponent. Okay. Ooh, Dark Six Short versus Burn. Ooh, Spreading Seas your only land. Ooh. Ay, opponent. You're not gonna cast much anymore. Spreading Seas is just like so impressive occasionally. I'm not sure if like I should be playing them, but they kinda are and they just are useful. We'll see on the play though. Maybe we... Like, it feels to me like I would like to have a second Delve monster, either a second Tasigur or maybe a Gurmag Angler. Main Xyz, Screw Charm. The original list had main Xyz. I copied from Dominic Harvey, but then I immediately cut that card because it seemed like nonsense to me. Maybe I was wrong. Anyway, it's just have burn spells. Pushing possession delta. How are the Sherlock Isles are performing considering the Tron land hate? What? They're quite good, and now you're saying that like the amount of Tron land hate is extraordinarily high at this very moment? I don't think that's the case. I find it cool that the perception of cleansing wildfire is much better than Seas when they are kind of the same card. Well, they are the same card and with like slight upsides and downsides. Oops, don't do that. Deterministic, yeah, well, they can draw a lightning bolt, so if they pass, we don't go for it yet. No, we probably do, actually. Because they could like crack the canyon, draw a lightning bolt, bolt the oracle, but then we can attack them with the inverter, play the other inverter, and they're like down everything, so we're actually probably fine with that. But like, we obviously also wait till the end step, so we... Like my opponent needs not to tap for the Boros Charm and then needs to top deck the bolt in the upkeep, and you know if they do that then wow. Kinda what about Baby J? Sideboard card, but it doesn't seem good against the like lightning bolt decks or modern to bring, right? You can actually cast Inverter and win next turn with damages, lol. Yeah, but I can also win this turn, which is also fine, a fine option. We actually also have free Devotion, which didn't really matter here as we have 2 cards. This one Neriman deck is awkward, why? Yeah, Tasigur seems... somebody mentioned it's bad against the blue-red prowess deck, which is true. But in matchups where I would like to... where Relic of Regentus is kinda slow and not good to have, I would probably like to have some Delve cards. But it's also possible to achieve the same thing with Mordor's cards, I guess, and then this one is actually good against blue-red prowess. Also try Tasigur versus blue decks. Yeah, I would certainly bring it in alongside relics in that case. Why do modern combo decks seem to not play Defense Grid? Defense Grid is only really played in Vintage. In Vintage it's played because the difference between costing 0 mana and 3 mana, or 1 mana and 4 mana, is extremely humongous in that format, and in Modern, like, the combo decks would not be that fast, and like people can just have 5 mana and pay for their mana leak. People can have 3 mana and pay for their forest easily. And then also, what combo decks is a proper question to ask? That's a good question, yeah. What cut Seas? Well, Seas was great, but I think it's maybe not be great to win 3 copies. Since playing Legacy as well, the same reasoning, yeah. Well, so I think the struggle with Talisman in this deck is that you only have 4 Inverter of Truths, which means you're not gonna have Inverter of Truths in your hand that often. And sometimes even if you have Inverter of Truths in your opening hand, you don't have the Oracle or Jace yet, so you can't even play it on the first turn. So building your deck in a way to try to rush towards casting Inverter seems just generally a bit misguided, because On average, it seems like most of the time you would rather spend the earlier turns of the game digging and interacting a bit. So slowing your opponent down to your level and then like digging a little bit so that you actually have the Inverter and the Oracle, since you need both to ever cast the Inverter. So that's like another issue with rushing to just play Inverter as soon as possible, just YOLO quickly. Like you're gonna have quicker kills, but you're gonna have them pretty rarely. I think I prefer 4 Inquisition, 2 Thoughtseize in the main deck. Discard Spell Split because of the pain. Played around a bit more of the mana base. I don't know how to best build it, but it felt like with 4 Watery Graves we drew them a bit too often and took too much damage. Dark 6 Shores is great in the opening hand, but kind of bad when you like need to resolve a 4-drop oftentimes. So maybe you're gonna try Drowned Catacombs a bit, which you have 2 of here. Now I would keep Thoughtseize. Your deck is kind of weak to Entity. Well, that's how I played it. I played with 4 Inquisition, 2 Thoughtseize. Supreme Will is something of an alternative to Char. Yeah, but it's like almost straight up weaker, right? Not really interested in Supreme Will. Deck is kind of weak to Entity, that's true. Strong Entity. What is nice is that on the turn that we play Inverter before we plan to combo, Inverter can block the Entity at least, or the Hasty Sprite Dragon, so you at least like cover yourself from that in that way. But it's pretty minor, obviously. But that's a pretty common bind for the blue decks who struggle with Entity. Blue-black control decks. You know, there's always a solution of being on the plane, just remaining that Entity, and then you're actually very good, and then you're actually like golden, or trying to go fast or something. Like the Blue Swords to Plowshares. The Blue Sword to Plowshares is actually a Blue Dismember, and a Blue Dismember in a blue-black deck is exactly that, a Dismember. So I haven't played against Blue Red yet. If I deem it worthy to have some like extra removal that tries to deal with Entity, I will, but I'm not sure yet. I guess we probably will try to board the disputes on the draw. How's the match against Heliod? Feels pretty good for us, as we don't ignore infinite life and have ways to interact, but can die to their like sideways combos of putting infinite counters on creatures and have to fight through multiple Well of Summer possible. So not free, but not bad. I'm gonna be trying this deck more tomorrow in some leagues. For today we're gonna be finishing the stream, and if you're watching this on YouTube, remember to like and subscribe and perform all of the other actions that will make me slightly more happy.